Shalom. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham, Bukakabash, and double honors to the Apostle of GMS, and to the bishops, the elders, and all the sincere brethren that labor in the truth like us the world, and to all the sincere brethren and sisters that listen to the truth. And I put this lesson behind the edifying lessons to the flocks, and wherever the Most High want to hear this message, let it be heard. And before we begin the lesson, I will introduce the true name of the Father, which is Yahweh, and the name is mean He exists, and the true name of the Son is Yahushua HaMashiach, which means the Redeemer or the Deliverer. He's only coming to redeem his people, which is the nation of Israel. And in today's age, you identify them as the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans, which scattered on all four corners of the world, and looks like the other nations, and also practice the custom of the other nations. And with that, that will be it for the introduction of the lesson. And the title today is "A man's foes shall be they of his own household." So your own foes or your enemies will be the one that came from your own household. It's not gonna be strangers. When you're watching the news, right, 99% of the time, right, people, well, I'm just gonna use race for example. People that normally unalive each other is always the same people that came from the same group or same nationality most of the time. It's not like a random person, like a don't get me wrong, you get enmity, there's enmity between nations, but 99% of the time it's going to be somebody from your own household. And we're going to find out in the book of Matthew 10 verse 36. Matthew 10 and 36. And that's also a beautiful chapter, because this chapter talking about Yahushua sent the disciples out. Matthew 10 and 36. And he says, "A man's foes shall be they of his own household." So basically, your enemy will be the one that came from your own household. And we're gonna scroll down a little bit. He say, "He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me." So basically, if it's somebody that loved his parents more than Yahweh, or you can add the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Basically, he's not worthy of, or basically, it's not ready to be a follower of Yahushua. And he that loves his son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. So if you love your kids more than Yahushua, you're not worthy of him. Basically, the scripture made it very clear. It's always going to be the Heavenly Father Yahweh first, and Yahushua second. Then everything else come after that. So when you come to this work, you have to basically sacrifice everything. And he says, and he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. So basically, if you refuse to take your cross, you're not going to be worthy of Yahushua. You're not worthy to follow Yahushua Mashiach. And a lot of people, when they come to Christianity, well, not say Christianity, when they come to this truth, they always believe that like their lives are going to get better. No, it's the complete opposite. You have to bear your cross. You're gonna face the fire. And when you start following this truth, when the Most High start dealing with you, man, the first thing you're gonna start seeing people that was once close to you, they're the one that's gonna become the biggest demons. Your friends, your families, your wives, all those ones that used to be your boss, that used to be nice to you, or that used to give you, like when you notice this back on your plantation, you used to be chilling, cruising. Now the biggest demons, like gonna from your plantations. You're gonna catch hell at your plantation. You're gonna catch hell at your house. Wherever you're gonna catch hell, that's part of you going to the fire. And when you read verse 38, he say, "And he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me." So basically, if you don't, if you refuse to take your cross, that basically you can't follow Yahushua. Basically, you're not worthy to be one of his. 39. "He that findeth his life shall lose it." So basically, somebody that's trying to cling to his life, that's trying to hold his life, right? What does that mean? Try to be a worldly. Because when you read Matthew, John 6, John 15 and 19, let me get that real quick. John 15 and 19. John 15:19 says, "If he were of the world would love his own." So if you are part of the world would love his own. The world will love you. Because remember, you have to remember, Yahushua chose us. When you read John 15 and 16, because he said we didn't choose ourselves, he's the one that chose us basically. And we say he sent a prophet to bear more fruit, which is wake up the rest of the nations basically. But we didn't choose ourselves, he's the one that chose us basically. Since he chose us out of the world hate us. Because before we have this wonderful message, guess what, we used to be worldly. So whatever the world has or desire or aspiration you used to have in the world, basically whatever you used to do in the world used to love you because you used to be part of it. But when the Most High Yahweh shall pluck you out of the world, guess what? The world hates you, and you see that first and foremost gonna start in your own household. Like certain things I used to do, or I can go by something that's very simple, dietary law. Like you go to a family gathering and they offer you something, you like, nah, I can't eat doing this, blah blah. They'd be like, what you can't do this? We've been eating this since we were kids. Our parents used to eat that. Our grandparents used to eat that. That's something we used to be normal. How you gonna tell us you cannot do? And they ask you why? Why can't you eat it? You be like, well, according to the scripture, here's what the scripture says, you cannot eat this. I was like, man, you bug, man. Well, this guy is crazy. Now you become a laughing stock. It was like, man, ever since this guy starts doing this truth stuff, no, he can't do this, he can't do that. He think he's better than us now. That's gonna be the mindset of the people now. That's just like a small example of what happened of the world hitting you. Let me see. But because ye are not of the world, and again I'm still reading John 15 and 19, and but because ye are not of the world, so but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. So because you're no longer part of the world, and Yahweh shall take us out of the world, now the world hated us. Why? Not because we doing things on our accord, because because the world hated Yahweh first. So if they hate him first, by default they're gonna hate those that follow him. And even if you read the verse below, it says the servant is not greater than his master. So if they hate Yahweh, which is our masters, by default they're gonna hate us too. Why? Because we are followers of Yahweh Mashiach. So just like Yahweh get persecuted, guess what? You also gonna get persecuted. And that's the part like most people that call themselves men of the Lord or Christians, they don't like. Like the average Christian that's walking around, they don't want persecution. They'll tell you, I don't want to be persecuted at all. I thought that when I accept Christ, my life would be better. It's complete opposite. That's why when you read the book of Ecclesiastes 2, which I did a lesson on yesterday. Well, I did lesson verse 6 to 9. But if you read the first verse, it's Ecclesiastes 2 verse 1, it says, my son, when you come to serve Yahweh, which is the heaven for Yahweh, he said, prepare yourself for temptations. And Christian does not want temptations. They want peace. They wanna be all lovey-dovey. And the time that we live in right now, this is not the time for that, basically. So let's go back on that Matthew 10, which in verse 39, and it say, he that finds his life should lose it. So basically, if somebody that's trying to hold to his life, gonna lose it. And he that loses his life for my sake shall find it. But whoever give up his life for Yahweh's sake, guess what? You're gonna find it. And the Psalm 55 and 22 say, we say that cast your burden unto the heaven Father Yahweh. So if you cast all your problem on the heaven Father Yahweh's hand, guess what? He's gonna take care of you, man. And he goes back to Proverbs 30 verse 8. So basically, the Most High give us basically the Most High give us enough things to function. He doesn't give us too much. He doesn't give us too little. He gives us exactly what we need for the day. So when you're in this walk, the Most High always gonna take care of you no matter what. No matter how much hell you're catching, He's not gonna forsake you. Basically, He's always gonna be there for you, man. So that's why we always have to put our trust and hope unto the Heavenly Father Yahweh Bashan Yashai, because He's always gonna be there for us, basically. So if you're somebody that's trying to hang on or cling to your life, guess what? You're gonna lose it. You try to hold on to the world desires, or your jobs, or that pension, that money that you have, that great film that you have. Guess what? If you try to hold on to it, you're gonna lose it. You're gonna lose everything. But if you give up your life for Yahweh's sake, guess what? You're gonna gain it. So again, like I said from the title, a man's foe shall be they of his own household. So basically, the enemies that you're gonna have is gonna be right from your household, which means your family's friends, or your coworker that you used to know. Those are gonna be the first, your primary enemies, basically. And that's it for the lesson, man. I put it as another edifying lesson to the flocks. And whoever the most I went through this message, let it be heard. And with that, I could say, Shalom.